You know, like baseball's a game where nobody knows where it started. And so it's like sort of based off of cricket. There's a game called Rounders that they still play in the UK some, but nobody really knows. In the beginning it was called Town Ball, and so that's why we're calling it World Ball. You know, you go from a town to the world. It's always known as America's pastime, but I think it's more than that. Gate B. This is the big street. Ted Williams, Bobby Doerr, Johnny Pesky, and Dom DiMaggio, not to be mistaken for Joe, it's his brother. And collectively, they went to the All-Star game 36 times. They all fought in World War II. Ted Williams, most people don't know this, that he fought in the Korean War as well. Carl Yastrzemski, also known as Yaz. Number 8, it's a great number. He did a lot of stuff. I think he went to the All-Star game 18 times, which would be like if I went to the All-Star game every year since I was 20 years old. Yeah. I mean, how crazy is that? That's so many. This is my favorite. So this is Ted Williams again, and he's with a kid, and like Ted Williams' whole thing was like, he wanted to help the kids, and that's where the Jimmy Fund started. And so like everybody loved Ted because the Jimmy Fund, which ultimately funded Dana-Farber and a bunch of research and stuff, and obviously he's like one of the greatest players of all time, and you know, he's the last player to hit 400 in a season. And then we get to all the banners. They're in numerical order by the last year that they played on the Red Sox. So we're working our way from 1907 all the way up through, I think Big Papi's the last one. These are all retired numbers, and of course at the beginning you have Jackie Robinson, which every team in baseball has retired. Jackie Robinson played for the Dodgers, the Brooklyn Dodgers, and so they put his number in blue on every stadium. So Rickwood Field is the oldest baseball field in the world, and it's in Birmingham, so that's where we're going to play our games, at least some of them. Jackie Robinson played there, and so did Hank Aaron and Willie Mays, of course. And then this is all the World Series championships, so you can see all the way back to the most recent one, 2013, 7, 4, and then the gap here, this is important, 1918 to 2004. The curse of the Bambino, because they traded away Babe Ruth. I mean, it's a long time to go for a city that loves baseball as much as Boston to go that long without a World Series. So this is Yawkey Way. They redid Fenway the stadium itself was built in 1912, and then they redid it in 1934, and the president of the American League at the time was, his last name was Yawkey, so it's named after him. Or he may have been the president of the Red Sox, I don't really know. So do y'all know the story about the 1986 World Series that the Red Sox lost? Actually, it's a very famous story. So the Red Sox were basically about to win, and they were playing the Mets. And there's a guy named Bill Buckner who was the first baseman for the Red Sox, and he was a great hitter, but a little less good at defense. So normally they would take Buckner out of the game if they were up and put in this guy. His last name was Stapleton, and guess where he's from? Alabama. Good job, Ada. He is from Alabama, and he was a great defensive player. He actually is from the same county that I went to high school in, and they would normally put him in the game because he was a great defender, and they didn't put him in because the Red Sox were winning, and they wanted Buckner to be able to be on the field when they won the World Series for the first time since, you know, the last time they had done it. And so they left Buckner in, and the Mets got a bunch of runs, and then they were about to get the last out, and the ball rolled right between Buckner's legs, and then they lost that game, and then they lost the next game too. So if they'd have put the Bama guy in like they normally did, they probably would have won. We won't blame Buckner. Everybody blames Buckner, but like if they'd have just stuck to the strategy instead of trying to get fancy, you know, it would have worked. Hey, Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Y'all from Bama? No. No? Just fans? I love it. Hey, see, Bama fans everywhere, even if they're not from Alabama.